how do busy mums get jacked? Like, how do they get to the gym, improve their physique without compromising their family life? Hey, I'm Jess. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is the first video that I'm actually doing on this YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet already, hit the subscribe button. Would love to see your support. And in this video, I'm going to take you through exactly how I've gone from a woman that looked like this, who wasn't necessarily training that well and eating that well, to a woman who now looks like this, who prioritizes strength training a couple of times a week, is a business owner of multiple businesses, and also a mum to a crazy ass toddler. When it comes to coaching mums specifically, we're never going to win a battle of prioritization, because mums are generally always going to prioritize others before themselves. I myself have a different take on this. I believe that we are, as one person, we need to look after ourselves in order to look after everyone else more efficiently. Now, I don't know where this connotation has come from, where everyone comes first before yourself. Like, yes, you still have responsibilities for your kid, but what happens to you? What happens when you are no longer functioning? How then do you turn up for your child? How then do they see you as you progress your life with their life, not looking after yourself? Are you teaching them essentially that it's okay to not look after yourself, to look after others? And that's where I have a huge mission to help women, specifically mothers as well, to show them that, hey, you can actually do more than you think. We just need to rewire the brain, have an appropriate program, and also go different routes to help you achieve these goals, rather than stock standard, you must go to the gym 4 to 5 times in the week to achieve these particular goals. Now, first and foremost, if fat loss is a goal for you, we're going to be worrying about nutrition. If you want to get juicy and jacked and grow some nice muscles, some shoulders and some glutes, nutrition is also a point, but you also need to prioritize training. Not exercise, but training. So if you're a woman that does want to lose fat, if you're a female, or a mother, I should say, that also wants to get nice toned shoulders to look a little bit more sculpted, I'm going to give you the quick tips that I give all of my clients, those that are busy, those that have zero time for themselves, on how to do that. Now, first things first, we need to know everything we are consuming. Hands up if you're a mum that says she doesn't eat. She only has 1 to 2 meals in the day. This needs to change. Nutrition is nourishment. A diet is nourishment, because what you're eating is called a diet. Now, I beg to differ that a lot of mums actually probably pick off their kids' plates, they snack throughout the day and only have a couple of meals. Then when they ask them, hey, what are we actually eating? They only describe the meals rather than the little bits and pieces that they have throughout the day. The leftovers from the kids' lunch, the leftovers from the kids' snacks, I'll just have a muesli bar or half a muesli bar. These calories do add up. And unfortunately, if we aren't monitoring that type of nutrition and nourishment, and we're not expending enough energy, that's going to turn into fat. And it's going to be really freaking annoying to know what to do if you don't consciously create awareness around what you're putting in your mouth. Now, mums need to be nourished. We are high functioning humans. We need to be on. So we need nourishment. And nourishment I like to start off with is fats and proteins. These are the biggest things we want to prioritize. Protein is probably the most underutilized macronutrient. Macronutrient being carbs, fats, and proteins. When it comes to protein, if you're not training, 1 gram per kilo of body weight is sufficient to just maintain homeostasis. But if you're training, we need to be bumping that up, at least 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight. Now, how do we get this in? We need to think about it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Little snacks as well. And if you would like a specific high protein meal plan, drop us a comment in the YouTube, and I'm more than happy to send it across to you. But if you're worrying about nourishment, think, okay, how can I today improve my protein? That is the biggest thing that you need to focus on. Fats is the next thing. 1, because it's essential for hormonal health and also for functioning of the body and the brain. So that is definitely a non-negotiable. And then carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are your fuel source, baby. They're the ones that actually help to also create the muscle mass, because they give you the energy to create that muscle mass. And how much carbohydrates you need is dependent upon the person, but we need all of them to get juicy, jacked glutes, shoulders, ripped abs. Actually, I shouldn't say that. To get the physique that you are comfortable with, that makes you feel confident. Now, for me, that is shoulders, glutes, and definition. if it's something that you want as well, then we need to now look into our training. Now, this is probably the hardest thing for mums to get right, is exercise and training. And it is the precursor to building that jacked body. Now, for someone like myself, when I had Rose, she's now 2.5, I was sitting at around 85 kilos. When I fell pregnant, I was 80 kilos. I only gained 8 kilos after pregnancy because I was able to start exercising and training just a wee bit more during my pregnancy. Now, that really facilitated the birth and it really facilitated the postpartum journey because I was starting off in a really good position for my body. Now, not every woman is going to be like that, but the pressure I find of getting your mum bod back real quickly needs to die in the fucking ass. I'm only starting to feel myself in my physique 2.5 years postpartum. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be for you, but I chose to, yes, prioritize other things. However, I didn't want to rush stuff. I wanted to be there for my child. I was also running 2 businesses in 2 different cities. So when you say busy, how was that fucking human? I would be Monday to Wednesday in one city, we'd travel to another city, and then I'll be working in both with a child by myself. And people would then ask me, how do I fit it in to help improve my shape and my health? I got maybe 1 to 2 sessions in a week. They're around half an hour. And a majority of those were not in a gym. I would take Rose for a walk with me and I would incorporate her as a weight. So that would be walk, lunge, squats. I would do push-ups and give her little kisses. I would do anything I could to just simply move. I didn't have structure as much because life was crazy and I didn't know what was going to happen in terms of Rose's sleep times. We didn't have a routine. So having non-negotiable at least 2 to 3 times in a week, I just spent 30 minutes just moving. And it was body weight stuff. I just included Rose and I really then started to progress and feel better. I was like, okay, I'm starting to grow some more muscle mass. I'm getting less inflamed because I'm actually managing my nutrition. And then we started to get a little bit more stable with our life. So we weren't traveling as much. And then I was able to now go to a gym and actually train 3 times in a week. Now for mums, if you can make it to the gym, you only need half an hour to 45 minutes. I'm going to tell you the exact things you need to do. First things first, you need to have a plan. You need to have a structure, you need to have a plan, because if you walk in there just fluffing about, you're not going to get enough done, you're not going to be as efficient, and you're not going to grow muscle mass because you won't be hitting the same muscle groups effectively and efficiently multiple times in the week. If you're chasing muscle tone, they need to be stimulated. We need to apply load and force to them. Now, for these 3 sessions, 30 minutes in a week, I want you to choose 4 main exercises. That can be a squat variation, a hinge variation, a press variation. So think any type of squat. It could be like a leg press, a squat, a hack squat, whatever it involves you pressing your legs. A hinge being like a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. A push being like a shoulder press, a push press. And then a pull. So pull being your deadlifts, your lat pull downs, or anything that sort of works the back. You want to have those 3 movements. You want to have at least 6 to 12 reps. But the key thing for this is have those same movement patterns 3 times in the week. You can change the exercise, but keep the same movement pattern. And what we want to do is called an omni-contraction method. We want to go really slow on our exercises on one day. We want to pause in our weak spots on another day. So think of it like a squat. On Monday, I'm going to go 4 seconds on the way down every single rep. This is going to help me improve my muscle mass. It's going to help me improve my technique, like exponentially, the technique part of this. And it's also going to help me stabilize as well when I'm actually holding rows. Really, really big thing. If you're wanting to grow muscle mass, eccentrics, perfect. Then on the second day, I would include isometric hold. So where I'm pausing. So say for example, it was a squat again, like a dumbbell squat. I would pause at the bottom of my squat without a bench, just by myself, for at least 4 to 6 seconds. This is going to help force production. So if all of a sudden I have to pick Rose up, I'm not going to be like breaking her back because my body is used to this ability to change force. Like grab her, she's running away, whatever it is. It's also going to improve sticking points and make you a stronger lifter. And once again, improve muscle mass and connective tissue. Then on the 3rd day, I just have fun with it. I choose similar thing, 4 exercises, 4 main exercises that I would do. And I wouldn't focus on the eccentric or the isometric, I will simply focus on the concentric. So how fast and explosive I can be on those lifts. And that's all you need to do 3 days in a week. You actually probably don't need a gym for that as well. That is going to improve the muscle quality and size of your main muscle groups, your back and your legs, as well as your shoulders. Now, if we get a bit more time, we then can start to include things like abs, shoulders and arms. So if you have some time at home, an extra couple of times a week, you can add in things like your delt raises. You can add in things like tricep extensions or dips. And you can also add in things like bicep curls. So these are for the women who are really strapped on time but want effective, maximal results. Big lifts, and then if you have time, include your kids into it as well, accessories. Now, maybe twice a week, and you could do that literally on a walk somewhere. You can go and use one of the outdoor parks with the kids to do these as well. You could use the rings at a park as an example, like I know a lot of parks have like the little ring rows. There's a lot of, and I want you to get creative. So if you're strapped for time and you can't go to a gym, this is the method I would use. And if you are strapped for time and you can go to the gym, it's still be the same method that I use. What we don't want to do is endless hours of high intensity cardio. Endless hours of high intensity cardio is going to fatigue you more. You are not going to grow as much muscle mass as you would like. You're going to actually get a lot more stress on the body. Now, high intensity exercise, I mean like if you're not sleeping and you're highly stressed and then you're adding in really high intense workouts, you will see results, but you're going to stagnate real quick because the body only has so much to give. If you're not feeding yourself and you're stressed, intensity is also a stress, that's when we're gonna have an issue. So if that is you and your goal is to improve muscle mass in your physique, I would rethink the way that you train and what you do for that. And then lastly, for the women who have time to go to the gym, and maybe that's all that they have time. They have 2 to 3 days a week where they can get to the gym for 45 to 60 minutes. We are in the golden zone, baby. It was about a year ago I was able to start incorporating that more into my routine. I would get up at 4 a.m. And I guess it's very early for a lot of women, but I am a morning person. I don't stay up late. I'm in bed by 8 p.m. with Rose. We go to bed together. Be up nice and early, because if I come home after training, I am such a better human. I am so much more happy. My partner knows I'm more happy, and I'm a better mum because I've done something for myself for the day. I've come home, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so refreshed because I've expended energy. I have had alone time, and trust me, it feels so good to come home when you are feeling like yourself and your daughter or your child has just woken up. Now, this is you. A similar concept. However, we can actually get a little bit more strategic in the way that we apply our programming. Now, I'm not going to go too far into depths. If you would like a specific program, that is something that we do offer as part of our coaching service. But once again, we want to be hitting muscle groups frequently. So if you can get to the gym 3 days in a week, we're doing whole body days, those 3 days of the week, prioritizing a leg day, like a leg day followed by upper body. Second one would be an upper body followed by legs. And third one would be a lower body again followed by upper body, because we want a nice strong legs. And you're probably carrying your kid everywhere, so your arms are being utilized as well. And then if you have a fourth day, I would look into a body part split. So legs, upper, leg, or lower, upper. And that would look like really focusing on certain muscle groups on each day, because that is what's going to improve the size and the quality of that muscle mass if you're wanting that really sculpted physique. On top of this, once again, as I mentioned before, nutrition is key. We can do all this training, but if we're not fueling ourselves adequately or over-fueling ourselves adequately, we're not going to get those results that you want. And it's taken me far too long to really, embed that in my clients' minds, but also mind, like, your nutrition is your nourishment. It's not a diet. We don't have to be on stupid calories. We can simply maintain the current calories we have and just see what happens when we actually start training. Do we grow more muscle mass? Do we actually feel better? So really think about how things make you feel as well. If fat loss is a goal, then yes, we want to be in a deficit, but a lot of women go too deep into a deficit. So as a mum, that's an added stress onto you. If you're dieting aggressively, you're training, you're not going to be a very, very happy and present mother. So, and you're also going to start to affect hormonal functions, sleep, you name it. So really consider these things if your goal is to, one, be as healthy as possible and to improve your muscle mass and your size. So that's all I'm going to leave you with today. If you're a busy mum that really, really wants to improve her physique, biggest things is, one, fit things in your current schedule if you don't have the capacity to go to a gym. You don't have to do much. You can just start off with a little bit and include your kids with you. Like, you'll be surprised at how many kids will want to try and do push-ups with you, or try and go for a run, or go up and down stairs for 10 minutes. Like, you'll be surprised how much they actually want to get involved with you. And trust me, you're going to set a huge example. Recruit a friend to do the same thing. Have a friend come over or go to their house and work out together. You'll be surprised at how much more motivating that is for you. Prioritize your nutrient-dense foods. If you can, get up a little bit earlier, depending on the sleep schedule, to fit in, even if it's just mental clarity time. And then lastly, we really want to prioritize our nutrition. Mums, you need to eat. We don't need to overeat as well. So having a really good awareness around tracking your food, what that looks like, how many calories you need. By the way, I have a macro calculator. My SD card became full, so I had to stop and start that. But I was saying, like, we really need to make sure that we are fueling ourselves adequately, and I have a macro calculator on our website. Just send a comment below and I'll send that across to you as well, which will help you really understand how many calories you should be consuming to, one, maintain homeostasis. If you go into a coma, that's how much calories you need to eat to just survive, and then what we need to eat either for fat loss or for maintenance calories. I always recommend starting at maintenance calories first and see what happens with your physique. And then lastly, training programs, nutrition programs, and having a coach is probably the most effective way to get results. Now, I have a very interpersonal relationship with my clients. I like to know their routines. I like to know their situations. I like to know their family meals. I like to know what they've done previously in terms of training, what their history was with their birth. The more that I know, the easier it is for me to create a program that suits my client's current lifestyle and matches it to their goals. So a program is, one, obviously as good as its execution, but when it's written for you, it's specifically for you, you'll be surprised at how much more success you get rather than just following something generic. Hopefully you've enjoyed this YouTube. It is my first one. I will get better as we go along, but if you did have any other questions, you can either send a comment below or reach out to me on Instagram at jess.limitless. That's it, team. See you soon.